First off, I'm gonna start by saying the year 2013, everything that I had worked for my entire life, I lost. It was taken and stripping away from me. On top of that, I left my mother's house at the age of 21. I'm 33 years old now, and I have 2 kids plus a husband, and I had to move back with my mama. And the reason why I left, because we don't see eye to eye. So I knew that I was trying to change myself for the better, whether anybody else gave me credit or not. But I wanted to know why people take what I say the wrong way, because unless a person know me, they don't know I'm genuine. I'm a Leo. I'm breaded. I done been through all the stages of Leos. And I know there's some arrogant asshole Leos, but Leos are genuine. And people don't understand that everything we do, say, think is all from our heart. Even if we're being deceptive, it's coming from our heart and we mean it. And Leo, we give our last to a person that we love. But people don't understand that how sensitive we are, because we hide it behind cactus skin. We look tough on the outside. Now, don't get me twisted. You step on that paw, it's vicious. But I mean, we don't show emotions and things like that. That's to hide and protect our feelings, because as kids, we were the ones that were picked on. You know, we kind of took off the landing a little late. We had a lot of high common sense. But as far as sense, they wasn't up to par yet. The sense developed with being hurt and tormented. And as for myself, my face and features hadn't caught up with each other yet. So my mama thought she could do hair. So one minute I got the Jerry curl, then I got a perm, then I got to get all my hair cut off for a Jerry curl again. Teeny weeny afro, big eyes, everything. I mean, it was horrible. Growing up was horrible for me. And then my family did it too, and that hurt even worse. I really start like that. Leos don't care. We have that. We don't give a fuck attitude, because when we're done, we're done. And that's something a lesson that we have to learn, is because we got to learn how to love and how to trust people again, or we'll be alone. Because that's really what we want, is love, like genuine. It's the little small, simplest things that set us off. And especially if we go out our way, we may show love by cooking you dinner, cleaning up for you, stuff like that you wouldn't think count as much. Instead of big gifts and stuff like that, we show love. That's how we show love. And then we may seem flashy, but we honestly, that's not our intention. That's just our character. And wherever your son was positioned when you was born on your natal chart, that's your character, that's your soul. And my son was sitting in Leo. On top of the moon was sitting in Capricorn. So I had 2 bad advantages against me, but they were blessings and curses, because Capricorns are very traditional. They very frank the way they talk. They have that no nonsense BS. And Leos are the same. Leos and Capricorns both are Leos. But the thing about Leos is we're fair. And what I did was, I'm looking at horoscopes. I always looked at horoscopes and tell people about their horoscopes. And I always, since I've been little, if I didn't deal with a person, I could spot bullshit before it even opened up its mouth. And that's something that I later on learned. Leos were 100% incarnations of the Atlanteans, the one that sunk under the Atlantic Ocean, where the Bermuda Triangle sits over, the only place that mankind cannot get to and manipulate. And the universe and humankind was created on a music note. So after I'm going to school, in high school, I didn't care about high school. I never picked up a book and read it. I never studied for a test and passed everything, because it was just common sense to me. I thought people were just stupid trying to play on my intelligence. It wasn't until later I learned that that's a gift that Leos have, that we can get into people's minds and manipulate them, and they really be believing it, but they don't know that we be thinking they playing with us, so we thinking we both being punked pretty much. So I seen the zodiac, so I'm like, where did they get zodiacs from? Because I gotta know where it comes. Where I like to see it for myself. I don't want nobody telling me nothing. So I'm in school, and I had to do a report on the 6 motifs of life, and we did something with the Egyptians. Mind me, this lady lioness, very street smart, very, very street smart, and very common sense can get by with anything and play it. Even if I don't know, I can play it off. But the Egyptians, I thought the only one I knew was real was King Tut. I'm gonna be honest. Medusa, Nefertiti, Zeus. I thought all them was made up mythological creatures. See, I got Leos. We think outside the box so much till it's like we don't understand simple things. We don't understand riddles and puzzles. So with that being said, it led me to astrology. I never really knew what astrology was. See my baby come. I never knew what astrology was until that day. And I was looking, it was saying, okay, the sun trending this and Saturn doing this, and it was like, you know, stay calm, stay focused, it might get you off, but you know, everything gonna work out for the better good. So I'm looking at my astrology every day and trying to figure out how to do this natal chart. I'm reading things, and then some things I read, like as soon as I put my eyes on it, it's like it absorbs up in my head, because I remember this. I'm like, I remember this too good, like this really happened. I remember this, and I'm like, sat there one day and I was like, where am I? I mean, that was the first awakening that I had and didn't know what it was, because since I've been a little girl, people that's passed on, I've always had dreams about. They always came to me and talked to me in dreams, and I always knew that they were deceased, but they never bothered me, and I was never afraid, and I delayed the message. And some people may not believe what my grandmother, I never forget when I told her that the lady and the man that came to talk to her and my grandfather and my grandmother started crying, and she told me that was her mother. Her mother passed away before I was even born. So a lot of these people I never knew, but that's something that I always had. When I was smaller, I seen them and I was afraid. So after that, that's when I started coming to me. I don't stare at death in the face so many times. In one incident, 2002, I was jumped by so many people. I knew about 6 girls and 4 boys, but it's like it was way more than that on me. And I know that adrenaline be pumping, that rate, that's that pride of that lion. Yeah, I knew I was gonna get jumped, but I did not care. They just had to do what they gonna do, because it's death before dishonor when it comes to a Leo. When you real, it's death before dishonor. You gotta do what you gotta do. I don't stare down many barrels. And I ain't saying I'm no beast, but at the same time, I'm real. It's death before dishonor. And but that was my pride.